Hello everybody, hope you guys are doing absolutely wonderful today. In today's video I'm going to be doing a shiny Yhwach showcase. So, for those of you guys who don't know, Yhwach is a new unit that you can get from the universal tears in the game, and I was lucky enough to get a shiny version. You may be wondering, why is a shiny version important or so cool? It's a serialized unit, and for those of you guys who know, serialized units are units that you can only get a certain amount of them. In Yhwach's case, you can only get 75,000 of them total, and I was lucky enough to get an early one, a good 3,090. So I got extremely lucky on that front, and I want to showcase you guys my purple Yhwach. So he's a limited unit, and or his shiny is limited, and really lucky to get him. I love the shiny. I'm wearing the cosmetic right now. It doesn't suit my avatar, but if you ask me, I think it's pretty cool. I like the moving eyes. That's a really good thing to add, and just the whole fit looks nice. I just need a better avatar for it. But what I really want to get into is the units I'm using and building around him to make him as strong as possible. So one thing first is the leader buff. We're using Grimmy. He gives a 50% damage buff and a 10% crit buff to any peroxide units. All the rest of them don't apply to Yhwach, but that's fine. Of course, we're bringing Yhwach to showcase the unit. We're bringing Idol for the buffs, of course. We're bringing Big Brother for his ability to synergize really well with Aizen or Yhwach. I keep on mixing them up. But yeah, basically, Yhwach, his ability. Sorry about that. The train's going by and it's extremely loud, like always. Yeah, it sucks living right next to a train. But yeah, we're using Yhwach, of course. Really good unit, extremely solid. And where was I? Big Brother. Yeah, Big Brother spawns a ton of little brothers and other units. I'll show you guys right now. He spawns a ton of other units, and that is extremely useful for Yhwach, because what he does is he takes 10% of these units, like total damage, and then adds it onto his own. So that's one thing that we're looking out for. We brought Iron Billionaire, aka Iron Man, Stark, whatever you guys want to call him. We brought him because he has a unique ability with his defense mode, as you guys can see right here. And that minus 17.5 second SPA could be really useful, because you don't typically see that in like any game you play. So I'm really looking forward to that mainly. Of course, we also have Idol. I think I already went over that, but yeah, it's a pretty decent starting lineup. For now, I want to raise enough money so I can eventually max out all of them at once, and then we can see their synergy all together. But yeah, so far, I'm really liking this update. I think it's, like they said, the greatest update in tower defense history. No tower defense has ever been this daring to add this much content in one update, and no tower defense has ever been that successful in doing so. So that definitely adds a lot onto the prestige of this update, and just overall how good it is. So, you know, I definitely got a lot of love for this game for taking that extra step and, you know, doing great things by it, because, you know, we were all on their head. Yes, we were on their head about them not updating and it taking essentially forever. But, you know, they surprised us and they did them a big one. So I can't even get mad or upset about how they went about doing things, because at the end of the day, I mean, it worked out and it proved to be worth it all. So hopefully this is enough yen, but I'm going to start upgrading these guys. That's more than enough. These guys are actually pretty cheap. So as we can see, Yhwach already without, oh yeah, I said without. Yeah, I forgot Idle buff is on auto. So let me show you guys what he's doing pre-buff. So Yhwach pre-idle buff is doing about 470k. Idle's buff for being in the range is, of course, increasing that by a decent portion. But as you guys can see, 470k, not bad at all. That's actually pretty respectable every 7.36 seconds. There's nothing too crazy, but I do think it's pretty solid. For those of you guys curious, I'm using these relics on him. I'm using his set, but I'm using damage, and elemental damage. And for those of you guys curious of what I'm using on these other units, I'm using buff potency and the Heaven Piercer set, which increases buff potency on other units. Similar thing pretty much all around. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in his buff form or his defense form. Okay, yeah, buff potency slightly works out with it. Ooh, it's more than slightly. Yhwach is all the way up to a ridiculous amount of damage. Oh, Idol's buff turned back on auto. So, okay, we'll see momentarily what the buffs look like when they stack together. He's about 727k, not bad at all. So we're going to use his Almighty passive, and we're going to see how much damage we can get. So we're taking the damage from every body. We're up to about 999k. When he loses his idle buff, he takes a pretty big tank in damage, but he still stays pretty high up. Once he gets his idle buff back, which is about 149%, he's back up to 999k. So that's insane. He's already about 200k DPS. Iron Man's ability is amazing as it cuts his SPA from what was previously 7.4 to 5.1. So that's crazy. Like that's pretty good. Like, no doubt in my mind, that's amazing. So as you guys can see, like, this unit is actually like great. I wish I was able to get an infinite like that could better test out his abilities. I do want to get Grimmy down, just to have him down. I do want to max him out and see. I'm going to go with the buff path and see if he can still reach pretty impressive damage. But yeah, I mean, this unit is like actually amazing. Like, I love what this unit can do. He's still getting really solid and really good damage, even without being on his original Almighty path. So you guys can just tell, like, this unit, amazing. What he can do is even better. Like, it's insane. But I also want to see what Visionary is capable of. Just like a little on-the-fly showcase. We were seeing up to 700k, which will give him about a 200k DPS. His SBA is lowered, of course, because of Iron Billionaire. Really amazing passive to have. I just wanted more units on the field and see what if the thing would increase. Nope, it caps out at 999k. So for those of you guys who didn't know, there's a cap on that ability. The cap is 150% per unit. So, you know, it's just really nice and really interesting to have. This unit is genuinely insane. It's a really strong powerhouse of a unit. It also has the added benefit of having the blue flames. For those of you guys who know about his relic set, it takes away his ability to crit, but it does increase the buffs he gains, so it makes him like way stronger as a unit. As you can see in the top left, plus 775% damage buff. You won't see that on any other unit. Like, as you guys can see, no other unit is getting damage buffs that insane. Wow, Grimmy's doing 830, a million DPS. I don't know how, but that's insane. Wow. I mean, that's besides the point, I guess. I didn't know he really got down like that, but yeah, that's crazy. Yhwach, as you guys can see, absolutely insane and amazing unit. Look at the DPS. It tells you everything you need to know about this unit. Like, and then on top of that, he just has all these other types of strong passives, these follow-up attacks, everything. Like his buff version, his buff self version. Like, this unit has some really good capabilities, really good starter unit, pretty cheap. There's a lot to say about this unit, but like, I feel like the easiest way to sum it all up is he's amazing. For those of you guys who didn't know, now you know. He's amazing. And he's definitely a unit you want to have on all your teams. Extremely solid. Bring him with Grimmy. Him and Grimmy, amazing duo. If not the best duo in the game right now. There could be some units better, but personally, this is the team I prefer and the team I run with all the time. I'm gonna try to run with this exact squad and see if they're any good, but you know, I think for a showcase, pretty successful. And this is not even like the best he can do, because there are still some other buffs I'm missing, as you know, me just being one player and this just being a stage that is like kind of irrelevant. But yeah, amazing unit. Definitely would recommend you guys try him out. Love you guys. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys with more content later. Bye.